Good morning, everybody. Are we ready to get started?
Sure.
All right. So welcome to WIBLA's annual National Poetry Month celebration, Poetry by the Bay. I would like to extend a big thank you to the LaPort Library for hosting us for the 6th year. This location is beautiful. It's lovely. I love open mics and readings because I always leave having gathered sparks of inspiration from the readers who graciously share their work. So I am so excited to spend this morning elevating women's voices, and I can't wait for us all to be enriched and inspired by each other's creativity. I know usually the MC introduces each speaker. I am relatively new to WIBLA, and I am absolutely not going to do justice to introducing y'all if I have to do that. So I'm going to ask for each reader to introduce themselves when they come up, please. All right, and if we have a volunteer to go first, we could do that, or I'm going to choose a name from the sign-up. All right, can we start with Margo?
Hi, I'm Margo. I'm the editor of the newsletter this year. So please get your news to me and pictures quickly. It's past the deadline. It's not really a deadline, it's more of a sick, die soon line. Okay, so my piece is called Black Coffee. It was a cold, drizzly day. My mother and I watched the rain as others in the house slept. She brewed us a pot of coffee to take the chill off of our bones. She laced my cup with whole milk, probably delivered by the magical milkman, and a spoonful of sugar. We sat on her bed, sipping the beverage that would bond us for the rest of her life. I don't remember anything about that morning except rain and that hot black gold warming my body. Coffee was culinary crack from the first taste. By the time I was 6, I drank my Java black and unsweetened. I love the way the pure, unadulterated Joe lingered on my tongue, palate, and throat. The way it washed away the detritus of sour dreams. The way it steamed away cerebral cobwebs and filled my lungs with the start of a new day. Unbeknownst to me then, I probably enjoyed the brain buzz and racing heartbeats from the caffeine. This drink was my portal to adulthood. My parents enjoyed my morning addiction. Imagine having your own in-house barista. Before I was old enough to go to school, I made the morning coffee the old-fashioned way, pouring a pan of boiling water over the coffee grounds. Then I served their hot brews in bed. Given my young age and clumsy nature, I'm surprised I didn't scald myself during these morning rituals. I'm still making the morning Java for the house. One of our favorites is Black Gold, air-roasted coffee beans and grounds from Tyler, Texas. I use purified water and Cuisinart metal filters, which allow each drop of coffee oil to drip through. Sometimes before dawn on cold, wet mornings, as I lift my mug of onyx-colored beverage, I think about my mother and that first cup of coffee. Thank you.
Thank you, Margo. That was lovely. Next, can we hear from Kathi Crawford?
Okay. I'm still getting used to doing readings. So I'm Kathi, and I'm actually a at-large director, I guess, for WIBLA, helping out with the 30th anniversary. So just been a lot of fun so far. And I'm going to read, I have 3 poems that were published in a, gosh, there's the name. Now I'm trying to remember what the name of the publication is. I don't have it with me, but anyway, they were published together. And they're a little bit about the planet, so I'll just dive in. Okay. Notes on the 21st century. It's not the end of the world, though it could be, but the sun came up today, and I've had my morning coffee, while at the same time, Yellowstone stood rain-smothered, the Midwest roiled in the midst of a heat wave, and millions across India and Bangladesh lost everything to raging floods and landslides. I mean, every day beats me down as I suffer in this Texas heat. Though maybe not completely down, I find strength in my lover's bear hug, the steady voice of my niece, and lavender flowering in my backyard. Every day, people are murdered by guns, by laws, by climate emergencies, as my brain struggles to understand why the persistent focus is on hurting each other. We are shrinking the spaces capable of being lived in, driving ourselves to desperate acts of survival. And though I am looking for the bright side, Mother Earth is eating her young, and maybe the world ends here. That might be a little mouth. Okay, the next one is called Reality. Not reality television with sculpted scenarios and tired trysts, but a prickly pear cactus that stores drops of water in its pads, astute at adapting in excessive climactic conditions. I know how it feels to be a survivor in a desert, the unending corporate climb, the evaporating promise of upward mobility. I wish life were as easy as it seems to be for the virtual nobodies turned on by a momager, exploiting her children for fame, manipulating family and fans' ratings. I too make fruit out of nothing. Reality is a sharp morsel of moisture and a land with sparse water. I'm sorry, I maybe didn't pick the most uplifting, but hey, we're gonna go with it. Okay. Readings of the seashore. They are realistic, I guess. All right. Now this notes two actresses. The one you know is Olivia Colman, probably many of you know. The other one is Jessie Buckley, and she's a younger actress. Okay. Readings of the seashore. Looking at Jessie Buckley's red hair, you notice the sunset scattering the light, which is what happens when you look at Jessie Buckley's hair. Always the same thing, the stunning sunset, the crest and break of ocean waves, like the musical notes of her brogue. But looking into the eyes of Olivia Colman is like looking into the eyes of a falling tide. Did you know that tides are not higher or lower at night, as the moon's pull is not stronger than the Earth's? Nothing controls the tide or Olivia Colman except depression. At the seashore, you notice a raft amongst the seashells on the tidal flat. You listen to the rhythm of seamen raking fish, crabs, mussels, and clams from the brackish water. You settle. In either case, soon you're in your brother's apartment, which is not important. What is important is to ignore his raging, beer-sodden voice reverberating in your ears, the force of the ebb pulling through your body.
Thank you, Kathy. We're here for the full range of human emotion. It does not have to be uplifting to tell us something important. Thank you. Next, can we hear from Jean King?
This computer thing appears. Okay, my name is Jean King. I am current program manager and for WIPLA and a recipient of this year's Echo. Okay, so visual, and this is my reading. So, the season of metal. This is the season of metal. It's all gunmetal blue, tarnished copper penny brown, golden afternoon light. It's all windows open, crisp air, filled with the perfume of dying, drying leaves, going from green to yellow to orange to crunchy brown, decomposing into rich new soil. Inside, cheap imitation wood paneled walls, sad, faded, and stained beige carpet. You can hear the click of the metal parts as he cleans the pistol in the other room. How many times has he taken it apart, only to reassemble it? You catch a whiff of gun oil, an olfactory accompaniment to the sound of the bullets sliding into their temporary homes. The hairs rise on the back of your neck. It's all butterflies in your stomach. You know this all too well, the electric charge of danger. It's past time to go. Time to take the brassy keys off the hook, open the door and leave. Save yourself and your unborn child.
Thank you, Jean. That was impactful. Okay, next, can we hear from Lisa?
Hi, my name is Lisa Salazar, and I am a member of WIDLA, I think, in good standing. So if not, I'll pay up, I promise. But I recently had a poem published. It was, well, I'll read my bio and you'll understand. It's my first published poem as an adult. I was thrilled beyond belief.
Oh,
So I'll be reading that, but I'll read the bio that I sent to them. Based in Houston, I'm a journalist, a lawyer, then a digital marketer, and always a frustrated artist. Graduating from the University of Texas at Austin with a degree in English literature, I've participated in numerous Houston area writing classes and workshops. With a published essay in an online publication, Ray Magazine, her first poem was published, appearing in the Socorro's Chieftain newspaper at the age of 8. And that was because my grandfather pulled strings. But the poem that I'm reading today was originally published in Pensive Journal, issue 8, April 2nd, 2024. And it's called Pirouette. Too far.
You're good.
Okay. Turning lessons from a former ballerina. Well, maybe that's overstating it. I was a ballerina from the ages of 4 through 15. Regardless, I did learn how to turn, or in the nomenclature of the ballet world, pirouette, to spin constantly on point. Stand tall, lift the leg, arm out, place the other leg behind and bent at the knee, turned out at a right angle, then spin. At the same time, turn the head and spot a distant mark as a destination. All performed in one fluid movement. Again, turn your head, mark your spot, focus. Right arm and right leg reach out with a lift and then land on point. Lift your leg behind you, bend at the knee, turn at a right angle to the body and spin. Your head and neck spin at the same time, snapping around, eyes landing on that same distant spot, maintaining your balance and alignment. Again, a perfect pirouette. And isn't that the way we move forward? First, we spot a distant goal, our eyes, our head, our neck engaged. One side, our better side, reaches out towards that distant future. Then our weaker self comes along, a tad resistant at right angles and bent. We throw ourselves around with enough centrifugal force to twist the body's motion to its opposite. Our head and neck snapping, our body back around, advancing us towards our destination. To turn, to pirouette, is to move forward in circles, like the earth spins around the sun. The earth's gaze constant, yet ever spinning, seemingly advancing, yet really spinning in a lazy ellipse, waxing and waning around the sun. And the moon follows its own journey, its eyes focused on the earth, revolving through its phases to never really land on its destination, spinning helplessly in a never-ending loop, never to land on Earth's distant shores. Earth and moon in a frustrated, endless loop of unrequited yearning, each to always see its destination, only to never reach its desire. Gravity eclipses all other desires to become a single driving force. A galaxy of pirouetting planets spinning helplessly around their unattainable desire, like idolaters before their distant, unmoved God, who is consumed with its own self-feeding energy. All movement, all energy, burnt in an effort to reach an unreachable desire. But maybe that isn't true. Maybe at one time, the sun flung out its own leg and its own arm and threw its head around with such force that parts of the sun broke free and pieces of itself came into being, casting out Earth, moon, and planets. The sun pirouetted and became a galaxy. The planets aren't looking forward towards the sun, but back whence they came. With time, will the gravitational pull to our older mothered selves become weaker? Will the trajectory of our orbits loosen as gravity lessens? Will we then break free from this helpless pirouette to become our own self-immolating star, consumed by our own desires to become a black hole, falling within ourselves, self-consumed? I cannot believe that we all face self-destruction, alone, unfulfilled. What is our destination? To turn madly in never-ending loops? Or will the loops become slower, straighter, longer, until we stop spinning altogether, floating in a sea of tranquility, enveloped in space, serene, still pulsing, with the rhythmic thrum of life, side by side with other still planets sparkling in a sea of stars. Heavenly bodies, serene, still, constant, with a steady, burning blue glow. All our stars pulsing with an inner beat in synchrony with the sun. Alive, alone, together.
Thank you, Lisa. I love the metaphor and imagery in that. Okay, next, can we have Brooke Summers Perry?
Why is this microphone?
I think you can angle it. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I have two. I'm Brooke Summers Perry, and I am WIVLA's president this year. So the first one is called Surrender. I want to leave the mask of uncertainty, fear that I need to follow someone else's formula. I want to leave behind the doubt, the idea that I need a roadmap, an example to follow, and successful model that someone else developed. I long to be free of the performative model, the checks and balances, the ROIs, the benchmarks, the checkpoints and goals. I want to run the numbers, do projections, make assumptions. I want to be with. I put one foot in front of the other, beside another. I want to be in balance. Accept the unsteadiness of the path, arm in another's. I want to be okay with what's under the mask. No formula, no performance. Being with, in the now, filled with wonder, fed by gratitude. And this one is heart of the matter. When I write, I lead myself to the same question. What if my heart, my love for creation, for creatures, for creativity, my love for people, all people, is enough? What if I collapse into my truth that my love, my wonder and delight, reverence for and connection with the light in others is enough? If I accept this joy, love, and abundance, If I believe that this is the thing, then I don't need to be smart enough or do enough. I do not need the approval of others. These concepts don't affect my truest worth. I don't need to project, protect, or fear that I will lose my mind. Okay, I guess I need to read that line again. I don't need to project, protect, or fear that I will lose my mind. The heart of the matter is what matters. What it does is effortless, sustainable, perpetual. What if I lose myself to love itself?
Thank you so much. Okay, before I call this next reader, is there anyone who has already read who had an additional piece that they wanted to read?
Do you have that first one that was published in the newspaper when you were 8?
Oh, no.
Just want to make sure. I was very firmly instructed that in order to close us out strong, that I needed to call this specific person as the last reader. So please welcome Gladys Bullock.
Wait. Rewind. Margo has something.
Okay.
No, I'm working on a draft.
Okay,
If
yeah,
I
bring
could.
it.
Just kind of.
Okay, so please welcome one more time, Margo Toombs.
And I forgot to say that in November we're going to have a reading. Our WIVLA meeting is a reading, and I'm going to talk about pink pearls. Also, one of my roommates, Melody, did you do this design?
No, the library did that.
Oh, okay, I need to check with them. One of my roommates, who's very fussy about art, he has never complimented anything I've ever drawn or photographed. He always tells me they stink. But he says, who did that graphic? He said, y'all need to put that on a t-shirt.
Oh.
So I thought, it does look like a great piece for a t-shirt. Okay, so thank you for letting me read my draft. How to build a wall. 1. Enter the world with parents schooled in the ways of progressive child rearing. Avoid devotees of spare the rod, spoil the child. A child is no match for adults with weapons. Number 2, complete a needs assessment. Do you really need a wall, or would a line in the sand do? Number 3, draw a line, set a boundary. They will cross it and you will do nothing because you have no power. 4, scratch another line and another when they smear and smudge and leap over them. 5, keep edging lines and setting boundaries until you have no place to go. 6, admit defeat. You tried your best. Now build a wall. 7, prepare the building materials. Bricks made with hours of psychotherapy and mortar from years of soul searching. 8, layer bricks and mortar until the walls surround your kingdom or queendom. Protect it from folks with arrows and rods. 9, mind your wall, keep it strong. Be careful whom you let in or what you let out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Margo. And now please welcome Gladys Bullock.
We love you, Gladys.
You're wearing out from work and other does that stay up like that?
That's the background.
Oh, okay. Extracurricular things. I couldn't decide what I wanted to read. In fact, I thought I was needing to write something new. And I realized, I think I shared with Brooke that, it was earlier, that this poem, I wrote it 20 years ago. So it's brand new. I've only read it one time. And then the others to follow, they were written about same about 18 years ago. So I don't know why I was in such a nostalgic mood Thursday, Friday, and today. Part of it because I'm very blessed to have picked up my package pickup for the MS-150 bike ride, which is my 27th year of riding in an event that's 40 years old. And I began to get a little teary. Because I realized, golly, I was 37, and now I'm a couple of more years older than that. And I'm still able to want to ride, and I still know I can ride. And the conversation when I picked it up for our team captain this morning about 7:30 in the morning is that, are we going to do the 50 or the 75 or the 100? And I said, we'll just do 75. And normally I'll do 100. And I said, you know what, I'm saying I'm going to ride 75. What a blessing that is. I can still ride 75 with confidence, longevity. We admire the loving and outgoing personality that attracted one to the other. We have accepted each other's past lives. One person's life may have been loving and in a supporting environment, and perhaps the other person's life not in such a loving and supportive environment. We anxiously anticipated making this commitment. Now, new days are ahead, and on those days where there is sadness on my face and confusion in my heart, will you still be so loving? Now that on those days and weeks and even years ahead, when I am not so much, when I'm so much in need of love, will my silent cries speak loud enough for your heart, for you, for me, for us to just simply love? Love. Well, yes, it didn't. It was a series of avoidance. So now that I think about it, I think maybe it should have been a one-night stand. I had to change a word in there. So when I say, I want you to change it up. I'm not, because I never do use profanity. This is the only time I've ever, and I won't do it here. It would have been better if you had just simply dated me instead of raping me. It would have been much more dignified than you just simply lying. It would have at least prevented the lingering pain and unanswered questions of why. Why didn't you just date me instead of raping me? Now, I didn't use the word raping, but you can change that up some. And so I said, it doesn't matter. Thank you.
There are no children in this room.
But she's recording this. And I want to be appropriate for myself. And so I realized it didn't matter how things happened in our life, whether you went through a good marriage or relationships. I've always had something to keep me going, keep me participating. The hat that I'm wearing was my first marathon I did in Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska, 1997. And then I did the next year, another marathon in Vancouver, Canada. And then this is my MS-150 in 1997. So it's all nostalgic. So the longevity, maybe the marriage didn't work, or a relationship didn't work, or a job didn't work, but I've had something. And even though I may not have been the first person to cross lines and finish lines, sometimes I've been last out of 7,000 to 8,000 people, but I came in. It would be nice to be last. To be last in finishing a bike tour, and I was dead last out of 7,000, or finishing a marathon next to dead last in finishing a marathon. Because to be last is to say that I have participated. And by participating, even today at 64, I consider myself a winner. I have developed self-confidence through mental as well as physical endurance. To be last, oh, how I wished, and I am wishing, and I am doing to be last. Because being last means that you're a winner. And we're all here doing great things no matter how things have happened in our lives. So being last means we're all winners. And thank you, Whitman. This is, I'll finish mine. That's it. Today was a little bit shorter. Not as I really did. You see that I was trying to, and then I naturally wrote something. I said, but that was something about, you know, because we've all maybe had good marriages, a lot of good marriages about. I wanted to read one that was a little bit more morbid, but I didn't find it, and I thought, I said, I wanted to arc to the reading. I know. I was just saying, what is that for you? There was an arc to the readings. They all went together. It's like this is a novel from the 70s.
That's also timing because of that.
It was perfect.
Next